The title of my book is Set Yourself Free. Freedom is kind of twisted word. It knows no boundary. According to scriptures, the God has given us free will. We are free to make choices, but are we really free? When was the last time you made some decision and you did not count on your family member or friends or your boss and colleagues for their approval? How free are we? If we think only about ourselves, we will be labeled as selfish and unprofessional. We are constantly surrounded or burdened by desires, likes, and approval by others. Where is our free will then? What sets you free then? When was the last time when you opened your eyes in the morning and you did not had anything to worry about? When was the last time you simply sat, enjoying doing nothing, or enjoyed your solo walk without thinking about your home, office, job, or children? Could you recall any time where you were simply you without judging others or yourself or not wanted to be like someone else? It is so hard to be yourself as we are constantly surrounded by voices which tell us what is right and what is wrong, what we should do or not, that we rarely listen to ourselves. We always look up to someone else to be like them. Sometimes we have more than one idols to follow, giving us feeling we are not enough or we are not complete. We desire to live our life how others are living, secretly hating our own life. We see others get influenced and want to be like them. We want to be successful like them, prosperous like them, fit like them, beautiful like them, stylish like them, own a house like them, copy their fashion statement, buy furniture like them, sometimes more than them. We spend our time getting jealous from someone's job, someone's boyfriend or girlfriend, someone's salary, someone's mobile phone, someone's elegant dress, someone's luxurious lifestyle, someone's car, and the list goes on. We spend our nights worrying about our problems, our jobs, our past failures, our relationship, our heartbreak, our parents, our children, our spouse, our kids' schooling, our kids' exam, our childhood trauma, or even what someone told us 5 to 10 years back, or thinking about how to be better than someone else. We spend our days running, cooking, cleaning, working. Days, weeks, months, and years pass like that. We start giving excuses. We don't have time, start avoiding friends, stop talking to family, stop going out, stop doing whatever made us feel good previously. Why? What for? No one has answer. We separate ourselves, maintain distance, and then we complain about our loneliness, job, colleagues, mental health, physical health, our spouse, kids, our maid, our neighbors, our friends. Everything start making us angry. We slip into depression because someone else has a better life than us. Feeling of worthlessness starts creeping in. We consume food, news, diet, movies, medicine, drinks unconsciously. Instead of thinking about ourselves, we think about others, of course in a negative way. Why do we do that? We don't have answers. We become set of unconscious behavior on autopilot mode. We gossip about others' life. We make fun of others. We start deriving pleasure from someone's pain. We like to see others fight and we fight and argue with others. Finally, we become addicted to gossip and spy on others. And if we don't get it every day, we feel anxious, bored, lonely, and helpless. We watch web series, movies, channels that shows us gossips, catfights, meanness, being greedy, crazy, unjustful, and resonate with it and eagerly waits for next series to air. We waste our time on fake news, fake and staged drama, fake food, fake friends, following fake influencers on social media, Instagram, and wonder why our life seems so fake and wonder about our purpose, desire, likes, passions. We don't know about our life, but we know everything about what's going on into our favorite film star's life. Now here, one thing is sure. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Mind is faithful servant but very bad master. If you don't control your mind, it will control you. Your mind never sleeps. It works even when you are asleep. If you don't give it work, it is going to find work for it itself to keep it engaged. The empty mind is devil's workshop. Mind is like genie. If you order it, it is going to grant you your wishes. If not, it is going to possess you. Life itself is like deal with the devil. The whole life you run behind your wishes to come true, and finally when you get what you want, you have to surrender your soul. You'll realize at the end of your life that you did everything to make your dreams reality. You compromised your sleep, happiness, family, friends, love, everything, only to realize at the end you forgot to live your life. You seek freedom from your chores, your responsibility, your spouse, your children, your country, your parents, your religion, your race, your caste, your creed. You make these worldly affairs your identity. Somewhere deep inside your heart you desire to be free from them. We humans have a special fascination with the feathers and wings. We have imagined angels, demons, witches with wings because these entities, just like our mind and heart, is free, not bound by dimensions. They don't have religion, nor race, nor specific spot or location or specific address with postal code to communicate with them. They can come and go anywhere, could travel between planets and galaxies. They don't have any restrictions. But we, into our own planet, into our own home, is not free. In simple terms, someone who doesn't own anything is free, and someone who owns more material is bounded by them. Now, planet Earth is not like heaven described in old mythological books. It is not a good and safe place, to be frank. So for our own comfort and safety, materialistic things are necessary. But problem with money and alcohol is same. It doesn't change you, it only expresses you or exposes you. Money or wealth is just like moon phases, keeps changing. How moon controls our mood and psychology, money too controls our inner world. We have separate deity, angels, demons, spirits, ritual crafts, magic tricks, witchcrafts to get money. So when we lack something, we start praying it, we associate it with deity, demigods, angels, demons, sigils, symbols. We invent crafts, rituals, rules, books, laws to make it part of our lives. No wonders why we have so many deities, demons, angels, gods, religions, and so on. No one has seen God. Some says it's a word, some says it is a sound, some says it is a number, some says it as love, some says light. The fact is your God is because of your fear. You fear losing your money, relation, death, loss in business, health, peace, love, harmony. So you keep praying your God. Once you become fearless or have nothing to lose, you will stop searching God outside. Your desire gives life to your external God, angels, demons. Once you stop wishing, you don't need them. Now, stop wishing doesn't mean stop growing, stop your evolution. It just means deriving your identity or happiness from outside. If you simply live your life as it comes to you, you don't need to fear. Your future scares you. Your thought of stepping into unknown scares you. Otherwise, you don't need any help from any being. If you simply stay in present moment, you hardly find yourself fearing from anything. Remembering God is not wrong. Issue is using God's name as an insurance agency to pay you for your losses, secure and safeguard your future, and your prayer and devotion becomes your installment. More the installment, greater is the coverage and assurance of your safe future. It is so difficult for us to let go of our fears. Just like some precious jewel, we wear it proudly. We keep it safe and locked into our mind and keep revisiting it during our free time. You give it so much thought, energy, emotion that now it has become separate entity of its own. You now start running away from it. You don't understand or make out difference between you and your fear and anxiety. You feel two of you are sharing same body. Now you are scared of your fear and anxiety and start searching way to suppress or repress it when it shows up. The more you try to suppress it, the more it will dominate you. You give it different names like trauma, shadow, ego, false self. You listen to other people who tells you to embrace it and become friend with it. But how could you become friend with unconscious programming which needs your energy and time to function? Is it a good idea to embrace virus rather than eliminate it? We see ourselves from the eyes of others. If others are giving us attention, then we are valuable, lovable, worthy. Once they stop, you lose your value. Just like a stock market, your value keeps increasing and decreasing. You don't value yourself but expect others to value you. You expect others to become your friend while in reality you are not your own friend. You expect others to listen to you when you can't listen to yourself. You wish all the happiness in a world for yourself, but you are not ready to spare a moment or a penny for others' happiness. When was the last time you made someone smile or made someone feel special without any expectation? You treat your relationship like investment. If it is giving you return on your investment, it is a good investment. If it doesn't, it is a bad one. When you love someone, you expect that person to love you back, and when that person cheat on you or leave you, or in other words, when your expectation breaks, you lose your sanity. Have you in life tried doing anything from selfless heart or without any expectation or desire? Your love care comes with conditions. Your emotions towards others are conditional, but you expect unconditional love. You love your child, but you expect him or her to love and respect you. Your love is like barter system. I am loving you, hence you should also love me. Your heartbreaks, traumas, fear, anxiety keep you awake whole night, while your desires, wishes, wants make you run whole day. When you are fed up with your old self, you turn your head towards spirituality. You keep listening to spiritual gurus, enroll for their classes, try affirmation, meditation, crystal, psychedelics, astral projection, lucid dreaming, subconscious mind programming, law of attraction, tantra, mantra, hocus pocus, healings, and the list goes on. Everything is good till things goes well as expected. But if something goes other way or in opposite direction, the anger, anxiety, fear that you had suppressed inside within you now burst out like a volcano, either on some person or on some situation. It is all because you haven't learned the art of letting go or surrender. We humans are weird creature. We give our thoughts and emotion to someone who doesn't even care about us, or on something that would not matter after 5 to 10 years. Do we even care to think if this situation will matter to me after 5 years before giving our energy and emotion to that particular situation or person? We forget difference between past, present and future. If something has happened in past, we believe it will happen again in future and forget to live in present moment. We live in past so much that it becomes our future, and we get trapped in endless cycle and repeated pattern in our life. Some person said these lines long ago: let the past bury its dead. We like familiar or known. We hate the idea of stepping into unknown. Why? Because known means safety. Our reptilian brain wants us to be safe. Our ego or programmed mind wants us to be cocooned inside our world. You will never change a thing by being inside your comfort zone. Embrace the unknown. Only from unknown opportunities arrives. Open yourself to the world, and the world will open for you. We often try to avoid pain and run behind pleasure, but we forget only through pain we could find our purpose. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Rumi. Pain is like mentor who pushes you towards your purpose and the values in life. But we choose to run behind fake happiness sold by beverage company, food company, cosmetic company, apparel companies, etc. Media, corporate companies plays with our psychology and sell us fake emotions, fake products, fake news, and we easily buy them. Why? Why do we let other person dictate us how we should feel, how we should dress, what should we eat, how to feel confident, how to socialize, and so on? We hardly think about our values, hence we let others to decide for us. We don't contemplate on our purpose and dreams, our callings, therefore we listen to others. If you don't build your dream, someone else will hire you to help build theirs. It is not wrong to work for someone else or in some corporate job. What is wrong is doing something which is against your heart and values, because it is only going to make your life miserable. No one wants pain and suffering in life, then why majority of us are restless, anxious and sad? Why do we even let these negative emotions enter into our mind like an unwanted guest and ruin our day? Are these emotions situational or human generated? Answer is both. Could we avoid them? Answer is no. The best thing we can do is to learn from them what they are teaching us. They are not just negative, unwanted emotions. They are pillar stones for our growth and evolution. It's all up to you what meaning you want to give it to them. What you're seeking is seeking you. Rumi. The world is divided between rich, poor, whites, blacks, blue-eyed, black-eyed, blonde, black hair, caste, religion, race, country, cities, zero size, extra large, male, female, language, culture, nationalities, class, status, success, married. Please pardon me if I have left any other categories. I don't get my head around the fact who created these divisions and why the hell people follow it. People get excited about idea of war, separation, discrimination as if they have copyright on this planet and their country or religion. People fight with each other to save their country, religion, language, culture, water, piece of land. I am not describing here anything as right or wrong, lawful or unlawful, just or unjust, but I am trying to point out, is there anything left on this planet on which entire human race agrees or don't fight about? In fact, when it comes to saving our planet, opinions are divided. The very essence of being human is to have opinion, and everyone should and is have their own unique beliefs and opinions. There is nothing wrong in it. But have you ever paid attention to your opinions? How many of them are in goodwill of others? Everyone is going to die, but what cause you are dying for? What is that one thing of yours or your idea or work you want to be remembered for eternity by fellow human beings? Or are you just going to sit on your couch passing your hateful judgment on everything waiting for your death? Or you choose to become immortal for the service or work that you have provided to this world? Choice is yours. The life is B to D, means birth to death. Between B and D there is C, it means choices. Our life is all about choices we make. So what different choice you are going to make? Does your choices come from love or hate, unity or separation? Choice is yours. People are ripped between deciding whether they should like what they do or do what they like. For me, it is different. According to me, it's about your vision. What is that one thing you want for others? What is that you want entire human race to be like or follow? Do you wish others to be happy? Are you doing anything then to make them happy? Do you wish world to be corruption free? Are you doing something for the world to become corruption free? Do you wish more love and compassion? Then ask yourself, how are you contributing in making world compassionate? Big or small doesn't matter. What matters is, are you taking any step towards your vision regarding humanity? Need not to say the more bigger your vision will be, the more successful you will be. Hence, dream big. Why some people reach pinnacle of success while some hit rock bottom, while some of us are stuck in never-ending cycle or loop? What makes some people different, extraordinary, superhuman, gifted, indigo people, intuitive? Why are every one of us so different from each other? What makes us unique? It's all in us. Some people compete with others while some compete with themselves. When you compete with yourself every day, become little extra every day, you are winner every day. While if you compete with others, you will remain loser every day. Our insecurities forces us to look in a certain way, dress in a certain way, speak in a certain way, walk in a certain way, eat in a certain way. There is nothing wrong in being mindful in your daily activities, but the rules, conditions, manners to be in a certain way are most often to impress other people or even sometimes the God. Sometimes it is because of our insecurities, fear, or even because of our overconfidence or arrogance. It is irony of life. Sometimes we ourselves bind us into these rules and culture without realizing they exist because of us and not vice versa. I am not telling you to be a rule breaker, but don't let it restrict you. Why do we always expect others to change, others to listen us, agree with us, keep us happy, be always with us? We have endless expectations with others, but we are not ready to change us first. We can't digest the idea that expectations always lead to heartbreak. Even then, we never stop expecting. We haven't mastered the art of being alone, hence we keep searching for company. Being alone and being lonely are two different things. Being alone means to be happy with your own company, but being lonely means when you have lost even yourself in life. Sometimes it is good to be alone but not lonely. When I expect from others or from life to be in a certain way, my days are lonely. But when I sit alone with my eyes closed and let the life flow through me without any resistance, I become my own friend and I understand the deeper meaning of life. Life is all about lessons and experiences. If you haven't experienced sorrow, heartbreak, sadness, you can never say you have lived your life. Let everything happen to you. Let yourself flow just like water flows through obstacles. Let go of everything that doesn't serve you, as you have come here to learn. Death is the stillness. Life is lesson. Learn and evolve. Thank you. Hope my book will help you in your healing journey.